Crypto Moonshots. Shout out to my Telegram fam for telling me about Chiliz. I was taking a look at it, and you know what? They're right. I'm very bullish on this. Towards the end of the video, we're going to talk about some major news coming up about Chiliz and why I think it's going to be bullish. So stick around. And I thought it'd be cool if I show you guys kind of like how I'm doing these technical analysis. So let's jump right into it. So right here, I took the swing low of that to the swing low of there, right? And we're kind of looking at we're looking at the 17th of March, okay? And if we draw a trend line from the swing, from the bottoms, right, just to make the terms easier, and to the tops, so if we include that top right there, right, and when something breaks a trend line, it can either go down or up, right? But that tells us that something significant is going to happen, right? And it happened to be significant, and it went up all the way to, it went up 25%, right? So now let's go a little bit into the future, around 1 or 2 days later, and we readjust this. So we want to make sure that this lines up to the top here, right? And then we readjust that, and this stays, right? This stays. And then we can see when we broke that trend line right there, it went down. So let's take it from there. It went down all the way 25%, 23%, okay? So trend lines tell us that there's going to be something significant that's going to happen, okay? So let's go even further, right? Let's go even further, and let's go more into time, and we're on the 26th now. We're on the 26th, and so that tells us that something major is going to happen, right? By major, I mean, you know, more than 5-10%. So take it from right there, and it went up 15%, right? So let's keep going, and then we readjust. We always adjust our trend lines, right? If I know some YouTubers you guys watch have like a bunch of lines, you know, they got 50-day EMAs, 40-day EMAs, they got heat waves, whatever, right? We want to kind of make it simple. I know some professional day traders, their charts look beautiful. They look very clean, okay? So we'll adjust this trend line, right? And actually, we'll just go right here. Okay, we'll go right here. And then, so we'll go a little more into the future, and we'll include there, right? And as you can see, so this tells us on the almost 1st of April, something significant is going to happen, right? And if we take it, we came down again like 15-16%, okay? So now let's go to the present time. And let's kind of inspect what's going on here. So this tells me, right, that we are close to something kind of majorly happening, okay? Again, majorly can be anywhere from, as we saw, like 50% to something above 10%, you know, 15%, 20%, whatever, right? So something's going to happen, you know, around this area, okay? Around this area, it's either going to go down or up. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about why I think it's going to go up, okay? So when we're diving more into the technical analysis, we can kind of check our trend lines, right? So we're at a 4 hours, so we're kind of zoomed in, right? So honestly, let's even zoom in more. And as you can see, this trend is holding, right? This trend is holding, and it's accurate for the 2 hour. Let's look at the 1 hour. Again, it's accurate, and as you can see in the 1 hour, it's approaching the end of the trend line pretty quickly, right? So I wanted to get this video out to you guys early so you guys can decide for yourself what you want to do with it, if you want to invest or not. So let's just zoom out and go to the daily, and if we go to the daily, we can see that this principle still applies. You know, these two lines are still holding, right? And then let's go to the 4 hour, and in the 4 hour, I drew this kind of level of resistance here. You know, it held here once, right? It held here once, and then here it kind of dipped back below it, but that's a significant area to some extent, right? That's a significant area, right? And then if we take the top, right, we can choose this as a level, right? This is a level that's not been tested yet, right? From this point on, right? It hasn't been tested. And let me actually draw it from there, yeah. And let me change the color real quick. Let me make it, I'll make it yellow. Okay, perfect. So it hasn't been tested yet, right? So that line hasn't been tested. This red line, however, has been tested. Okay, so that tells me that that's a major line, right? So there's a chance that if we go up, again, that's depending on the volume, right? The volume of how many people are going to pick it up and how major this news is. I'm going to talk about towards the end of the video. And that tells me that there's a possibility. Again, that's on the 4 hour. Let's check the daily. Let's see if that line is there. Yep, it's on the daily, right? So that's a pretty strong line of resistance. Is it on the weekly? Let's check. It is on the weekly, right? So this is a strong line of resistance, okay? So if you're kind of swing trading, then that's something you want to keep in mind and take into account, that this 0.71 is a line of resistance on the weekly level, okay? Whenever something is a line of resistance on the weekly level, that tells me that it's a strong level of resistance. Okay, so let's go back to the 4 hour. So so I told you, so two things can happen, right, when we break a trend line, as we saw, from the history, as we saw before, right? It can go either down or up, right? But then if we kind of look at uh, it's been kind of consolidating, right? It's been in the consolidating means it's going sideways, right? The more professional day trading term for it is it's an accumulation, right? This is all kind of like accumulation. People are accumulating this coin, right? People are picking it up slowly, right? And when something is in accumulation, if you look at my other videos, I tell you guys when something is in accumulation, right? It normally shoots up, right? And this is called distribution. When something is at the very top, that's called distribution, right? So this is accumulation right here, and that's distribution right there. Accumulation right here, distribution, right? And this whole thing, if we zoom out, this whole thing has kind of been accumulation, right? So I kind of wanted to get this video out early and kind of give you like a little heads up. Obviously, no one knows what's going to happen, but if we look at technical analysis, we see that we've been in an accumulation phase for 25th of March for about a week now, right? A week. I mean, the level has gone up like around 20% up and down, right? Before previously going up 800%, right? 800%. If we look at this, it went up, above 800%. Yeah, can't even read that. Yeah, like no, 950,000%, right? So as you can see here too, right, and this is why this principle applies, is this coin was in the accumulation phase right here, right? It was accumulating, 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 right? People were picking it up, and then that's what caused it to shoot up, right? So I'm kind of going to talk about the news and why I'm bullish on this coin. If you come to CoinMarketCal, right? If you come to CoinMarketCal and you search CHZ, which is the shorter term for Chiliz, right? They got a lot of stuff, and again, shout out to my Telegram group for kind of talking about this, but they have a lot of things coming up on the 30th of April. Today's the 5th, right? So kind of want to get in early, right? I think like 10 to 2 weeks before this, I think a lot of people are going to be picking it up. I think accumulation is going to kind of turn into a upward trend, right? An upward trajectory, right? And we're going to use this trend line as support, and hopefully we'll be able to move it further out, right? Further out. So that's what I think is going to happen. So let's look, right? They got strategic partnerships coming up on, and this is all of this, right, is kind of coming out 30th of April, right? They got gamification launch, new team in sports, fair token options, FTOs, right? And then they got new countries. I don't really know what that means, but they got new countries, and then they got NFT strategy deployed, okay? So again, technical analysis tells us that this has been kind of in an accumulation phase. We've kind of been down, if we get from that swing trade, we've kind of been down almost 40% from that spike, right? So I think that, in my opinion, and I'm going to be picking some up, right? This is just do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor, but I'm going to be picking some up because I think that with the news coming out, right, and with technical analysis, if we combine the two, if we marry the two, that tells me that we're on an upward trajectory. Okay, so that's kind of all I wanted to talk about. If you guys got any value out of this, please hit that subscribe, like this video, and join the Telegram, man. Yeah, man. Have a good one. Thank you, guys. Bye.